Alrighty, today we're going to be looking at the Aero Kit on the 911. It's one of the most expensive options you can add to your vehicle. And so a lot of people avoid it, but they're avoiding it in ignorance. Remember, this is the very reason why I'm here, is to help fill in those holes of knowledge that most people have when it comes to configuring any Porsche, but let alone the 911, which has arguably the most options that can be added to it. And so let's take some time today and run through the Aero Kit option, why it's one you should tick every time, even though it's so expensive. We're going to start with the base 911, the base 911. We're going to look at it. We're going to start with the standard equipment. This is the cheapest 911 you can buy new at the moment. Why would you want to add the Aero Kit? Let's have a quick glance at the pricing on the Aero Kit. Close up all the options. Look at how many thousands and thousands of options you get on this car. All right, open up exterior. Here's your Aero Kit options over here. You've got 3 of them that you can select over here. This is totally up to you, and it's your specific taste. I, again, remember, always like high gloss black. Why? Not necessarily from the physical appeal or aesthetic appeal of it, which I think is better, but because of the quality of the materials that you get with regards to the high gloss black. When you pick the Aero Kit in the body paneling, it doesn't automatically change the matte black pieces to high gloss black. So be aware of that. When you select the high gloss black, you're going to have all of those pieces upgraded and just made it to look that much more luxurious and also worth the money that you pay for it. And then you get the anthracite gray version as well. Again, be aware of what it changes and what it doesn't change. I'm going to stick to the high gloss black because that's my favorite. If we open it up, it gives you a quick list of what you're going to get. It's going to be your front apron. It's going to be your side skirts. It's going to be the rear apron along the bottom around the exhaust. That is a very large panel of matte black, cheap looking plastic. A very large. You want to upgrade that on any Porsche, even your base Porsche. And then obviously it adds the big high gloss black spoiler on the back with this wonderful little ducktail feature, which I think is just spectacular on the 992, and a clear rear brake light over there. Absolutely fantastic. We tick that button and we accept it. We put it onto the vehicle, and immediately you've got your change on the front, change on the sides, and you change on the rear. Now, this is when individuals go, I don't know, but I like the classic appeal of the 911. I want the rounded shape. I'll turn it off. The rounded shape of the 911. I hear you, but it's never as pretty as a 911 with a spoiler. Go and take a look at a GT3. Go and look at the 911 Turbo. When the spoiler's on the back, you've now got a real 911. And I know some of you are going to argue with me about that, but I think you're wrong. The spoiler makes the 911. It changes the entire aesthetic of a car. Now, in this particular specification, you're going to say, well, Brett, I don't really see it. I don't think it looks very nice on this base one. I'm going to tick 1 or 2 more buttons. And we're going to change this vehicle so dramatically that anybody who doesn't really know Porsches is going to think that you're driving a GT3, and all you've done is purchase the base 911. I'm going to start with the exterior color. I'm going to pick the free black. That's all free. There's no extra charge on it. I'm going to change it to black. Then I'm going to get to those wheels. I want to put on a decent pair of wheels. Have a look at this, ladies and gentlemen. Have a look at what you've now got in front of you. You've put that Aero Kit on. It's giving you the spoiler, the side skirts, and it's fixed up this front lip with all the high gloss black. And with that classic wheel on, you now have a vehicle that most people are going to think you're driving a turbo or a GT3. Just picked up that standard base 911. Look at how incredible that looks with that Aero Kit. It's the best 150,000 Rand you're going to spend. Put these 1 or 2 extra options on. You haven't blown the budget on your 911. You've got a proper base 911 now. All right, fantastic. That is the Aero Kit on the 911. You put all of them except for the convertibles and the Targas, obviously, and I suggest you do it every single time, particularly if you're going to purchase a GTS. I cannot handle the GTSs without the spoiler of the Aero Kits on them. Make sure you do that. Now let's go to the Turbo. The Turbo has a different configuration with the Aero Kit. It is as nice, but because the Turbo comes almost with a standard Aero Kit on it, it doesn't always need the additional pieces. It depends almost completely on what you're trying to go for. If you want a slightly more classic look to your 911 Turbo and yet still sporty, then I would suggest leaving the Aero Kit off. The wonderful thing about the 911 Turbos is if you spec them correctly, and you would have seen one of my previous videos where I say they're actually quite tricky to make look pretty. But if you spec it correctly, even without the Aero Kit, it can have presence and it can look like a proper 911. And remember, what I mean by that is aggressive, sporty, aerodynamic, and with the bits and pieces like the spoilers on the back. But if you want to make it lower, flatter, wider, and more, call it hot wheel like, more track orientated, more exciting looking, well, then you're going to stick the Aero Kit on. But those are two completely separate categories. And you can do both of them with the 911 turbo, where with the standard 911s, I feel you can't. You have to have the Aero Kit on. So let's quickly pop on here a few things and let's have a look at that Aero Kit and what it does in the 911 turbo. All right, so here's your three options. You've got the carbon fiber version, you've got the body colored version, and you've got the high gloss. The body color version is going to leave the matte plastics in place. Don't like it myself personally, but again, that's up to you. And if you're doing an all black design, sometimes the matte on the high gloss works quite well. High gloss black is the one that I would tick. It's $176,000. It's a lot, but the carbon fiber is $240,000. And the carbon fiber is going to commit you to extra options. You cannot just tick this. You need to then tick a number of other options if you're going to get your 911 turbo correct. The high gloss black, you're going to end up with a high gloss sill on the front with the side wings. Now, this is new to the Dot 2. I'm going to show you in a minute the Dot 1 pictures. The Dot 1 had this as body color with only the center section as high gloss black. And I actually think it looked great on the Dot 1, but this looks pretty good too. And I'm going to tick some buttons to show you that. It gives you a more aggressive side sill, also in high gloss black. And of course, it's going to give you the rear wing in high gloss black and the curls, the little lips here on the edge of the spoiler. You might remember the previous one was just the bottom sill. Now it gives you just a little bit more. But more importantly, and always, this rear apron becomes high gloss black. That is a big portion of your car to have in cheap matte black. Put the high gloss sill on there, and it is a beautiful, beautiful thing to see. All right, so let's see if we can make this thing look a little bit prettier with that kit. I'm going to go back up. Let's get ourselves a DC color. Going in this, I've just got Genshin Blue today. I quite like the Genshin Blue in the 911 Turbo. I think it's absolutely fabulous. And we'll take a look at what the Dot 1 looked like in a minute. And let's put some DC wheels on. I know everybody's got their own preference around this. That's absolutely fine. You're welcome to go with that. But I really love the classic wheels, which I think that they are superior. Have a look at that, ladies and gentlemen. You've got your Aero Kit on now. High gloss black, back there, pulling through from mirrors, the vents. Absolutely beautiful with the Aero Kit. Much more aggressive. Okay, so one last glance. We turn it off, have a look at it without, with the 911 Turbo. That can be beautiful as well. Got the flat sill at the back now. These you can still get some high gloss bits on to make it work. It's a much more classic look now without that sport. Not quite as hot weech. All right, so what we're going to do now is I want to move across to our move us across to here. I want you to have a quick glance here. This is the Aero Kit on the high gloss black Aero Kit on the 992.1 Turbo. You can see here the black sill that raises up, giving you this split spoiler when Sports and Sports Plus are engaged, or if you just lift the spoiler on dashboard, you get this beautiful high gloss black apron along the bottom. Oh my goodness, how it changes the entire aesthetic of the rear of the car. Super, super fantastic. And what it also does is it gives you these sills. I'll give you another picture in a moment that shows you sort of a broader back bottom edge to the car, which is, if we have a glance here from the side, now you see in the 992.1, this was body colored over here with the center section in high gloss black. It looked fabulous. But as I said, I think the current one also looks good, keeping this in high gloss black. There's your wider sill at the back there as well. And you can see that split spoiler with the Aero Kit in there, giving you a much more tracky, sort of a boy racer kind of look about the car. Look at this. This is that high gloss black sill apron with the wider sill on the back corners of the car, making the vehicle look absolutely spectacular. As that side sill, a wider side sill with the Aero Kit high gloss black just makes the car wider and lower looking. And here it is in a little bit of shade. You can see there's that too thin spoiler, the sill out the back there, wider down the side, and the Aero Kit in the front. Look at the difference high gloss black makes in the mag wheel. Oh my goodness, I don't like this mag wheel. I think it's the poorest choice, but the high gloss black painted in there with the red calipers, a little bit of red there, and in the brake light, absolutely fantastic. I'm going to take you back to this picture here. Look at the grey. Look at the grey. Why, Porsche? Why did you put grey in there? I will never understand it. I will never understand it. But look at the difference. putting the high gloss back in there. They're absolutely beautiful. As that front lip again, you can see the edges over there of the Aero Kit sticking out. High gloss black lip, and yeah, this is all high gloss black in a dot 2 now, making a big difference to this vehicle. I want to see if I can find you. There's the lip on there and the sole at the bottom there, just giving you the edges, making the car a little bit wider for you. And you can see the wide lip at the back there. All right, fantastic. A little bit closer up on the edge that Aero Kit gives you. Look at the grey. Oh my goodness. Got to go for the black. So, ladies and gentlemen, that is the Aero Kit. I would suggest you tick it for the standard 911s, a few extra options, very little extra cost. You can have a very serious 911, particularly on the GTS. I would do it. On the 911 Turbo, you've got two choices. You can have a category of classic, smooth, rounded look, or you can have that more aggressive boy racer, track racer look with the Aero Kit Turbo. Money well spent. Let me help you spec your car so that it is perfect and it's a joy when they reveal it to you. But you're not disappointed either when they reveal it to you or later when you suddenly realize what you've missed and you've spent all that money. Jump onto my website, www.myperfectcar.co.za, and book an appointment with me now. And let's get it right before you place your order.